The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRCMedia, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
This week on FRCmedia News, residents get a progress report on SouthCoast Rail with still no commitment to when it will launch. The school committee votes to support the elimination of the requirement to pass the MCAS test to graduate. And we speak with President Obama's White House photographer 1 week before he speaks at an event at Bristol Community College. All this and more coming up. It's Thursday, April 11th, 2024. This is FRCmedia News. I'm Keith Tebow. Representatives of the MBTA leading SouthCoast Rail held an information session last night, updating residents on the progress of relaunching the service to the region. Project manager Gene Fox said the project is still in the final stages of construction work, focusing on stations in Taunton and New Bedford. The Fall River station was substantially completed last year. She said the main focus is shifting to signal and train testing along the route. And with that comes the need for people to stay away from the tracks.
We're going to have fast-running test trains in this area very soon. And they're going to be running in some areas at speeds up to 79 miles an hour. You are used to 10 and now 25 mile an hour sporadic freight traffic. You are not accustomed to commuter rail locomotives traveling at fast speeds. We are still seeing people trespassing, and it is trespassing. It is illegal to be on the right-of-way. Again, over 60 years, we were able to enjoy it without worrying about risk to life and limb, but that is not going to be the case in very short order.
Ms. Fox said new federal regulations have lengthened the time needed to complete the testing. Because of that, the MBTA cannot say when service will begin, the schedule of the trains, or how much it will cost. That uncertainty, along with well-known troubles facing the MBTA, left some at yesterday's meeting skeptical of its future.
Those kind of details I'm aware of because I was very interested. Now I find these details are no longer there. We don't know what zone it's going to be. We're not sure what the fare is going to be. We don't know when it's going to start. And this sounds rather bureaucratically typical of when a time estimate fails, because now you back off and you don't want to make any commitments. But I think what people want to hear over and over again is, when am I going to be able to ride this train into Boston?
Service was scheduled to begin late last year. The timeline has since shifted to have the testing complete by late spring or early summer. The Fall River School Committee this week voted to support a resolution to eliminate the MCAS graduation requirement and to ask the state legislature to pass the Thrive Act to allow local districts to determine graduation requirements and provide better assessment of student achievement. The proposal was put forth by leadership of the Fall River Educators Association. During a presentation before the committee, Jenna Vieira, special education team leader at Durfee and the Madeiras Resiliency Preparatory Academy, pointed out data on how special needs students in the district often fall short of the MCAS requirements despite their high level of participation.
This data is not the result of apathetic students or unskilled teachers. Students can be present in school daily, receptive to the material being taught in class, and even passing all of their content courses, but still not earn a high school diploma. High-stakes standardized tests are not designed with our students in mind. Teachers of all subjects spend time scaffolding and differentiating their content material. We do this because we know it is considered good practice. It is the best way to ensure the content material is accessed by the many types of learners in our schools, including students with disabilities and multilingual learners. Determining competency for graduation should be no different. If a one-size-fits-all approach isn't acceptable in our classrooms, it shouldn't be an acceptable tool to measure student growth and success.
Durfee algebra teacher Joshua Lopater said the Thrive Act will allow districts to assess students based on a broad set of standards and not just one test.
The push to raise standards with high-stakes standardized testing has unfortunately led to unintended consequences, resulting in a defective assessment system that fails to serve the best interest of our students. We've witnessed firsthand the detrimental effects of this system. Classroom time is increasingly devoted to test preparation, robbing students of valuable learning opportunities and stifling curiosity and creativity. The narrow focus on standardized testing has resulted in curriculum that fails to accommodate diverse learning styles and strengths of our students, reducing this to a one-size-fits-all approach that overlooks the myriad of ways in which students can excel.
The committee voted 6-1 to support the resolution. Member Kevin Aguiar was the lone dissenting vote. He feels the district needs to provide more data to prove that eliminating the MCAS graduation requirement is in the best interest of city students.
We all feel like we want to say, oh yeah, let's not make it a requirement, because we say that the students that are going through 4 years of school at Durfee High School, they can pass all of the Durfee classes, and if they get a passing score on that, they therefore graduate. And I think the missing part of that is the reason why the state has made this a graduation requirement is because we were graduating too many students that can't read, they can't write, and they can't compute when they're done. And I think that digging into the deeper part of this, rather than the feel-good part of your heart says, yeah, of course the student should deserve a diploma. But it also means that when they get that diploma, that means something, that they can all read, they can write, they can compute.
Committee member Sarah Roderick said eliminating the MCAS requirement would allow the district the flexibility to determine the educational readiness of high school students.
Asking to remove MCAS as a graduation requirement is not about lowering expectations. It's about clarifying what it is that our kids actually can do and what they know. So holistically really looking at a kid, because let's face it, standardized testing caters to one type of learner. I have one of those learners at home, right? He's going to do well on every standardized test. And then I've got another one that will know the material, but no matter what you do, he's going to do horribly on a standardized test because it's just not the kind of learner he is. And is that really fair for our kids who don't learn in that type of way or don't express their knowledge in that type of way? It's not. So it's really about meeting the needs of all the kids.
The school committee this week also passed the school department budget for FY 2025 and a timeline that will determine the hiring of a new superintendent of schools. Current superintendent Maria Ponce is retiring on June 30th.
He'll come down and meet with our advisory panel that's going to do the initial screenings. They'll send the finalist on to the school committee, which will then do a public interview with a standardized set of questions, and we'll make our recommendations after that. I think it's, it's important for a district like Fall River to have those people on board in a timely manner, but time isn't everything, and we want to make sure we do it right and we have the right person that fits into our system.
The mayor has also assembled a local committee to screen candidates interested in serving as the city's next superintendent.
Whether it's the teachers, the parents, student, administration, with an eye towards diversity, our English language learners. We have a representative across the board on almost all the groups, so we want them. It's a committee of 11. And they will, like I said, they will formulate some questions working with the Massachusetts Association of School Committees with an idea of what the school committee is looking for, and hopefully do the initial screening so we can see where what we have for our candidate pool, and then we'll decide from that pool how many we're going to have for our finals, and off we go.
At a joint meeting of the Fall River City Council and the school committee this week, the Coogan administration gave a preview of what the city's budget may look like when it begins the new fiscal year on July 1st. Early estimates put the spending plan at $372.5 million, an increase over FY 24 of $14.7 million, or 4.1%. Most of that increase is attributed to state funding for local schools. During the presentation, City Chief Financial Officer Bridget Allman gave an overview of the city's budget priorities and challenges as it finalizes next year's spending plan.
So the priorities on our budget are, we want to continue to enhance our city services, clean, safe spaces. Obviously, education, we know enrollment is increasing. Public safety, we are doing very well there. Crime is down 23.6%, and there's a decrease in overdoses. We want to continue to enhance our healthcare, stable workforce, and we want to increase opportunities for tourism and business development, as well as housing. And again, the city does a very good job, and we're going to continue to do that and looking for all kinds, any grants and earmarks. We want to keep it also improving affordable housing. We had a lot of pressures on our budget. We have a substantial increase required in our local appropriation for education. Our inflation has stayed high for more than 2 years, and trash and recycling costs keep increasing. We have a competitive labor market and a shortage of qualified workers, and we have high debt payments that we need to reduce to increase our stabilization fund. Rising pension costs at 6.8%, and then they're going to 7.5% currently for the following year. And again, always rising health care.
Next year, the city will be asked to pay approximately $800,000 toward constructing the new Diamond Regional Vocational Technical High School. In subsequent years, the city's costs will rise dramatically. Mayor Coogan said the city does not currently have money to pay for the increase, and he plans to seek taxpayer support through a debt exclusion vote that could take place in the fall. In 2018, residents approved a debt exclusion to raise taxes to build the new BMC Durfee High School.
The problem is not the payment this year or maybe even the payment next year. It's the payment that might start in 26 or 27, which would then be over $6 million a year. The city, in its present budget, cannot take a $6 million hit without, significant cuts. The only place we're cutting is from the all other city services. It's not from the school side. We have to meet our 100% mandated spending amount over there to the best of our ability, and the rest of it is going to come out of mostly personnel on the other side, whether it's public safety, whether it's DCM, whether it's government center, wherever. That's where the money is going to have to come from, and that would be a substantial knock on the city.
2 years ago, the mayor asked the city council to authorize a debt exclusion vote for Diamond, but the council did not support that request. The One South Coast Chamber of Commerce and Bristol Community College this week held an event on how businesses can integrate diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging initiatives within the workplace. Gail Forts, Executive Director of the YWCA of Southeastern Massachusetts, is a member of the Chamber's DEIB committee. She says diversity initiatives can only be successful if everyone within the organization commits to them.
It is difficult and it is lifelong. It's not a one and done. And to really make that commitment, you have to have everyone, including the president, the owner, the top-down leadership, and as well as bottom-up. If there's not a true commitment to this work, it's not going to work. It's just going to be a check-off box. It has to be intentional, it has to be authentic, and you have to be ready for some uncomfortable conversations, and that's okay. That's okay to be open, to listen, and to hear what your staff is saying, what your clients might be saying. I'm such a big proponent and advocate. How do people feel when they walk in the door? Do they see representation? Do they see people that look like them? The pictures on the wall, the brochures that you're using, the media. Every single thing makes people feel welcome or makes people want to walk away and not come back again.
Helen Maranta is the DEI officer at Bay Coast Bank. She says it's important that businesses encourage open dialogue with employees.
What we have done at Bay Coast Bank is really take the opportunity, as I will say for myself as a DEI officer, and really get out there and really get to know and see each employee, each individual, have one-on-one conversations from the bottom up, really getting an understanding of what their beliefs are of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. What's important to them? What are some of the wins that they observe throughout the tenure at Bay Coast Bank? And then what continues to be some challenges, and how I can collaborate with those teams, with those departments to implement those items that are important.
Eversource, National Grid, the regional legislative delegation, and Green Team Junk Removal are sponsoring recycling events in the region during April. An event was held last Saturday at Old Westport High School, and the next event will be this Saturday, April 13th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Joseph Case High School in Swansea. Residents will be allowed to dispose of electronics and appliances for a fee safely. Free furniture disposal is also accepted, some of which will be donated to Habitat for Humanity. There will also be a collection of non-perishable food donated to local food pantries. A list of what can be recycled at the event and the fees associated with that disposal can be found on the Green Team Junk Removal website. The event has been held for the last 3 years and has helped residents dispose of unwanted large items while learning of energy-saving benefits provided by Eversource and National Grid.
In 2021, a partnership was formed with Green Team Junk Removal, local legislators, National Grid, and Eversource to provide recycling and sustainability drives in the local communities we serve. I'm proud to say that our partnership has put money back into constituents' pockets with the rebates they receive by turning in their old dehumidifiers, being able to give the constituents an outlet of getting rid of household items at an affordable price. We've been able to furnish many new homes with the furniture that's been donated and brought to the Habitat for Humanity restores, as well as other local furniture banks. We've been able to stock many shelves at local food pantries with the donations we've received at our events as well.
These events also provide a $30 rebate for turning in an old, inefficient, high energy using dehumidifier. So we're able to take those off the grid, get them properly recycled, and provide a $30 rebate to our customers. In addition, if the customer should decide to purchase a new high efficiency energy style model, we offer another $30 as well.
These events are also a really great way for us to spread additional information about Mass Save and other opportunities that customers have to take advantage of our energy efficiency programs beyond the dehumidifier recycling. The least expensive energy is energy that you don't use, and through Mass Save we offer a range of opportunities, many of which are at no to low cost, for customers participating to do exactly that, improve the energy efficiency of your homes and businesses, and save money through using less energy.
We'll be back with more FRC Media News after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Non-invasive cardiologist, SouthCoast Health, located at 1030 President Avenue, is looking for a full-time non-invasive cardiologist, responsible for recommending and ordering tests to determine the extent of illness and help diagnose the condition. Job number 206-65268. Camp Support Specialist, Old Colony YMCA, located at 353 Lincoln Avenue, seeks a full-time camp support specialist, responsible for providing ongoing training and guidance to frontline counselors to help minimize common emotional and behavioral challenges. Job number 206-65031. Kitchen Assistant, New Boston Bakery, located at 279 New Boston Road, is seeking a full-time kitchen assistant, responsible for food prep, answering phones, dishwashing, and kitchen organization in a fast-paced bakery cafe. Job number 206-69096. Warehouse Operator, INX Technologies Incorporated, located at 2192 Anawan Street, is looking for a full-time warehouse operator. For more information, call 508-677-2881. Rexel Group, located at 1082 Davall Street, Suite 102, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Plumbing Project Manager, job number 206-65207. Quotation Specialist, job number 206-65113. For more information about these and other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.ol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. Next week, Bristol Community College will hold the inaugural event in its Wolfson Speaker Series, an initiative named for longtime college benefactor Richard Wolfson. The first installment will feature South Coast native and former White House photographer to Presidents Ronald Reagan and Barack Obama, Pete Souza. I had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Souza this week about his time in the White House. Here's a portion of our conversation. Talk a little bit about how you got You can watch our entire interview with Pete Souza on Channel 95 or on our website, FRCMedia.org. One note, unfortunately, Mr. Souza's appearance at Bristol Community College next week is sold out. We will wrap up this edition of FRC Media News right after this. That'll do it for this edition of FRC Media News. Please visit our website, frmedia.org, for all the latest news and local information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Monday, of course, was the solar eclipse across the United States. We hope you had a chance to see our live coverage of the eclipse on Monday. If not, we leave you this week with a short video time-lapse of how the eclipse was viewed here in Fall River. I'm Keith Tebow. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Thursday.